Well, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the State Department. I want to begin by thanking our friends and colleagues, Foreign Minister Cho, Defense Minister Kim, for their partnership, for their friendship, and for the very good discussions we had today. And as always, it's great to be with my friend, my colleague, Secretary Austin. In 2021, the two of us made our first foreign trip together, and we visited Seoul, as well as Japan. This was our first overseas trip, and the first 2+2 of this administration. I just got back from another trip to the Indo-Pacific a couple of weeks ago, which by our count was my 20th trip to the region since the start of this administration. But with the Republic of Korea, over the last three and a half years, we've strengthened our alliance, we've modernized our alliance, an alliance that for 7 decades has advanced peace, prosperity, and stability on the Korean Peninsula, in the Indo-Pacific, and increasingly around the world. Today, we had an opportunity to build on that progress and to also lay the groundwork to ensure that we continue delivering shared security and shared opportunity for our people in the years to come. Now, one of the things that we emphasized today was a reaffirmation of the United States' ironclad commitment to the ROK security, and that includes through extended deterrence. That's especially important in light of the ongoing provocations coming from North Korea, including another ICBM launch just yesterday. We condemn it in the strongest terms. The latest launch of many and other provocative actions that it's taken. Flagrant violations all of multiple UN Security Council resolutions. All countries should be demanding that the DPRK cease these destabilizing actions. We are closely consulting with our partners and also with Japan. In fact, Foreign Minister Cho and I were on the phone early this morning with our Japanese counterpart, and we will be focusing, as always, on this in the days to come, including the actions we'll take in response. All of this reinforces why we have to remain focused on maintaining peace and stability in the Indo-Pacific and on the Korean Peninsula in particular, even as we work with European partners to respond to the DPRK's deepening security relationship with Russia. We now assess that there are some 10,000 North Korean soldiers in total in Russia. And the most recent information indicates that as many as 8,000 of those North Korean forces have been deployed to the Kursk region. We've not yet seen these troops deploy into combat against Ukrainian forces, but we would expect that to happen in the coming days. Russia has been training DPRK soldiers in artillery, UAVs, basic infantry operations, including trench clearing, indicating that they fully intend to use these forces in frontline operations. Should these troops engage in combat or combat support operations against Ukraine, they would become legitimate military targets. Now, one of the reasons that Russia is turning to these North Korean troops is that it's desperate. Putin has been throwing more and more Russians into a meat grinder of his own making in Ukraine. Now, he's turning to North Korean troops, and that is a clear sign of weakness. Russia's been suffering some 1,200 casualties a day in the east, more than at any other time during the war. And with the deployment of these North Korean troops to Russia and now to the front lines, this is the first time in 100 years that Russia has invited foreign troops into its country. Our two sides today discussed a range of options in response, and we're closely coordinating with allies and partners, particularly our European partners. We're continuing to surge security assistance to Ukraine for the United States, and we'll announce more in the coming days. What we're also seeing underscores the indivisibility of security between the Indo-Pacific and Euro-Atlantic theaters, something that is clearer and clearer to all of our allies and partners in both Europe and the Indo-Pacific. It's reflected in South Korea's growing partnership with NATO, as well as its support for Ukraine, providing generators, humanitarian assistance, and we've discussed what more the Republic of Korea may do in the future. But in all of the conversations that I've been having with partners in both Europe and the Indo-Pacific, increasingly, we see a focus on the indivisibility of the security. With regard to China, we discussed the need to responsibly manage our competition with the People's Republic of China. We agreed that China should do more to curb the DPRK's provocative actions and to stop support for Russia's defense industrial base, which is helping to perpetuate the conflict and the aggression by Russia in Ukraine. In the face of China's unlawful maritime claims in South China Seas, we remain committed to upholding freedom of navigation and freedom of overflight. We also underscored the importance of maintaining peace and stability across the Taiwan Strait. Even as we address these security challenges, we're also working together to expand our economic cooperation in ways that are having clear, direct, and powerful benefits for people in both of our countries. South Korea is now America's #1 source of foreign direct investment. And this is really worth reflecting on, because foreign direct investment may be the best measure of trust and confidence, because you don't make these investments unless you believe in the future of the country that you're making the investments in. So it's a powerful gauge of the confidence that South Korea has in the United States. And more broadly, we are the #1 recipient of foreign direct investment in the world. Again, a very powerful indicator of the way the world sees the United States. Thanks to the CHIPS and Science Act, thanks to the IRA, since 2021, Korea's companies have pledged to invest $140 billion in the United States, and that will help create some 100,000 jobs. And those jobs will be in the industries of the future. We're now Korea's second largest investor. Together, we're advancing a shared economic vision for the Indo-Pacific and actually for the world. These goals are bolstered by growing trilateral cooperation with Japan, building on the historic Camp David summit that President Biden convened and hosted. And we look forward to another trilateral summit at the earliest opportunity. I mentioned at the start that Korea is increasingly a powerful and consequential leader around the world, a global pivotal state. It hosted the Summit for Democracy in March. We look forward to Korea hosting APEC next year. And together, we are working to uphold the rules-based international order, the UN, right now in the Security Council, where Korea is a member. Our alliance is continuing to do what it does best, which is deliver real results for our people, real benefits for Americans and for Koreans, and we're grateful for the strong bipartisan support that we enjoy in Congress for the alliance. President Yoon has said that the United States and Korea are marching together toward the future. Today, it's another reflection of the work that we're doing together, the fact that we are joined together in building a better, more secure, more prosperous future for all of our people. Thank you.